Hi, welcome to Tasty Thursday. Our book today is Fancy Nancy, The Show Must Go On. This is another book for beginning readers that is just such a good book. And if you're not familiar with Fancy Nancy, there's a whole collection about Fancy Nancy and all of her adventures and the silly things that she does. You might notice today that I'm dressed a little bit differently. I have some jewelry, some fancy earrings, a beautiful sparkly scarf, and of course a crown. That's very fancy. That's because everything that Nancy does is fancy. So I wanted to be just like her. So today our recipe isn't as much a food as it is how to serve things in a fancy way. Everyday meals can be served in a very fancy way, just like Fancy Nancy. So here are the supplies that we need today. Our first supply is some pink lemonade mix, some sugar, strawberries, and a pitcher of water. So we're going to do that one first. Okay. So we've got our pitcher of water. We're going to take our pink lemonade mix. You can use regular lemonade too, it's just as good. And we're going to dump that into our water. Okay. We're going to take our stir and stir that up until you can see that all the little parts of the powder are mixed into the water. That's called dissolved. If you ever see in a recipe that you stir something until it's dissolved, that means you stir it until it's all blended together and mixed. Okay, and I think that looks like everything is dissolved. Great. So, you could just serve it like this and it would be fine. It's pretty pink, it would be nice, but it would be fancy lemonade if you cut up some fruit and put in it as well. So I have some strawberries, so I'm going to just cut up some strawberry slices and drop them right into my lemonade. Now, you could do this, you could fill your pitcher with lemonade. You could also just put the fruit in your glass, which I'm going to try that as well. So, we've got our fancy glass, and you can use any glass that has a little bit of a stem on the bottom of it. I know most of you have a glass that's, the glass part is up here, and then there's a little kind of a handle down here. So, for this one, we're going to take our strawberries and slice them up, but put them right into the bottom of the empty glass. Let's do one more strawberry. I'm super excited. I love to drink lemonade this way. So, there we've got our strawberries in our glass. So we're going to pour some lemonade, pink lemonade, into our fancy glass. Look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? But we're not finished. We're going to take this beautiful piece of tulle, and tulle is kind of like, some of you who have fancy dresses are made out of tulle. It's kind of like ballet material. So what we're going to do is take a piece of tulle, and we're going to cut it in half, and then we're going to fold that in half. Very carefully. Now you could do this too before you've already put the lemonade in. We're going to tie this around the bottom of the glass, and it just dresses it up a little bit. Now can you imagine if you're having a party, or just every day, just to be special every day, if you had some of these glasses with different colors, how beautiful your table would look. I think it would look awesome. So we're going to set our fancy lemonade aside for just a minute, and we're going to go on to our next project, which is fancy plates. Now, this is super easy. Oh, you know what? I just thought of something. I forgot to put the sugar in the lemonade. Ugh, that would be icky lemonade. So, we're going to pour this glass back into the pitcher. Boy, I'm glad I thought of that before I taste test or took a drink. That would have been an icky surprise. Okay, so we're going to add 1 cup of sugar. This will make it taste much, much better. Okay. You can't see it on the video, but our taste tester is also the video, and he's laughing at me right now. What a crazy mistake! That would not be fancy tasting at all. Okay, now we're going to wait until the sugar dissolves. Much better. Okay. Let's try this again. Now here's our fancy glass. We're going to pour our fancy lemonade into our fancy glass. But we didn't get any of our little strawberries in there, so we're going to fish one out. We'll have just one strawberry. Okay, now we'll set our fancy lemonade aside and go on to our next project. Now I've made a couple of samples ahead of time. What I did is just took regular paper plates, and you can use whatever kind of paper plate you want, different sizes. You could use plain white. I had some pattern ones and ribbon that matched. And all I did was to take a hole puncher, and I just went around the edges. You can see that I did that here, and just punched holes. You can put as many holes or as few holes as you want. So you just take your hole puncher and put it right into the side of your plate and punch. Then you can use any color ribbon that you would like. So I used blue before, so let's see. How about I use a different blue? This is a good way to use up some ribbon if you have extra ribbon from wrapping presents, but not quite enough to do a whole other present. You could do it this way. So you just take the tip of your ribbon and put it through a hole. And some of you have done weaving. This is just like weaving. So you just put it in one hole, pull it through, up one hole, pull it through, all the way around the plate. So I'm going to finish this up, and then we'll come back in just a minute and see what it looks like. We'll finish it. Okay, now I'm woven my ribbon all the way around the plate, and you can see on the back what it looks like. So what I'm going to do is take my last piece. I have one hole left. I'm going to put this piece up through the hole, and then I'm going to kind of pull it to the side, because what I'm going to do here is put the other piece down this way and kind of make a little knot with it so that it gets stuck, and then I'm going to loop it back up through the bottom. Now you're not going to see this little loop when we're finished because we're going to tie a bow. You won't even know it's there. So then you'll put your plate down, and you can just make like you're tying your shoe. And if you've got enough ribbon, you might want to do it twice. Now the nice thing about this, making a plate fancy this way, is that the ribbon doesn't get into your food. So you won't have a problem with food getting into your ribbon. So I'm going to snip off the edges. And here we have our collection of fancy plates and our fancy lemonade and our fancy glass. I'm going to serve up supper on one of these fancy plates with the fancy lemonade, and I bet our taste tester is going to think it tastes way better than usual.